If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Potgieter still sitting at 5 under, leading the way at the PGA Championship. What's his first name? Carl?
Aldrich.
All right. It is time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com, brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, NBA playoffs back on tonight. Spurs and Cavs going for the kill.
Do you think both series end tonight?
I bet you the Pistons win. I bet you the Pistons get a win on the road. They haven't traditionally been great on the road, though they did win, obviously, a couple of closeout games or avoided closeout games against Orlando to take that back to Detroit to close out a Game 7. They're pretty geared up for this. They're a little battle-tested, maybe more so than a lot of teams who are just making their second playoff run. So I'm betting on Detroit for no real reason. I also think there's just no way Jalen Duren is this bad again. But maybe I'm wrong. He's been bad all playoffs.
Yeah, I wonder his disappearance. You've talked about that for the last few days. He's certainly critical for them.
Yeah, he's their second best player.
Yeah,
and he hasn't been at all in the postseason.
I hope Detroit does. I hope Detroit. I'm pulling for Detroit in this series, even though before the season I predicted the Cavs going to the finals.
Yeah, I want to see a Game 7, but B, I'm with you. I like this Detroit team. I want to believe, this is me being a very bad analyst, I want to believe that teams like Detroit can win. Powerful, defensive-minded, not all skill, but like kind of fun, put together in a difficult way. I think I want to believe that teams that play that way can win. And it's not just, well, we've got James Harden and Donovan Mitchell and a bunch of top 5 picks, and not that Detroit is without top 5 picks, certainly, but I hope the defense continues to matter, and that's Detroit's identity, and I hope that can outlast what Cleveland does.
Yeah, me too. But, maybe it is the case that they just don't have enough firepower for sure. And I would expect for them to tinker in the offseason. They'd be crazy if they didn't.
Yes, they have to get a lot better. They have to be careful in how they get better, because I think a lot of people are going to say, well, let's go get Michael Porter Jr. or whatever.
I don't think that's the answer.
It's like Michael Porter Jr. said after he didn't make the All-Star team, he stopped trying. So no, I don't actually want Michael Porter Jr. on my team.
No, if you could, honestly, if you could carbon copy Toby Harris and make him just a little better.
Yeah. A little younger, a little better.
That would be the guy. I
really like him.
Yeah. I like Toby Harris. If he were just a little better and a little younger, he would be exactly what they need.
Yeah.
But Cade's awesome. He's a great player.
He's a legit top 10 player,
yes,
I think.
He is.
I think he's in that conversation.
And then as far as the Spurs go, I'd love to see Rudolph push it to 7.
Agreed. I'll be curious how this Timberwolves team is looked at after a very good first series win over the Denver Nuggets, if they aren't able to eclipse the Spurs, how that changes the conversation, because now you're starting to see Julius Randle catch a lot of heat for not being better in this series. And
well, because he doesn't have another gear. Yeah. This was always my question when the Timberwolves traded for Randle in the first place is does he fill what they're actually missing? Because the whole put your head down and charge into Wemby doesn't work.
Correct.
And that's why he's struggling in this series, because he's got one move. He puts his head down, and he tries to run over his guy, which is pretty effective because Julius Randle is big and strong and really good at running people over. But you can't do that against him.
Doesn't have the counter. And
no.
The counter is the obvious one, is the three-point shot. Can he step out and shoot the three? And his best season probably of his career was just after COVID. He makes the All-NBA second team? And averages 24 and 10.
Wait. Hold on before you read his percentages. Let me have this hot take, and you can tell me if the math proves it to be true.
Okay.
Any possession that Julius Randle is taking a three-point shot, the other team considers it a defensive victory.
For his career, yes. But I don't think it's a coincidence that the best season of his career, he also shot 41% from 3 on 5 attempts. That's a great player. He never got back to that. He didn't sustain that, and because he didn't sustain that, he is not a perennial All-NBA player. In fact, he went from 41% that year to 30% the next year. He just had a hot shooting year, which is fluky, but if he could do that all the time, wow, what a player, because then you have to guard him with...
But even that, I wonder how that holds up in the playoffs. I got to think that the other team in the playoffs, if Julius Randle, that guy is taking a three, you consider that possession a win for you.
I don't know. If he's shooting 40% for his career, it's like if Lowry's stepping out there. No one would ever consider
He's
Lowry
not
shooting a
shooting
three.
40%
No, that's the
for
thing.
his
But
career.
so that's the problem, is if he had a counter, which is a 40% three-point shot, he's unstoppable. He doesn't. So that's the problem with him.
What were his playoff numbers that year? Did they make the playoffs?
It was the Knicks. So let's see. They did make the playoffs, and the number dropped to 33%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've got to be able to hit that shot and hit it consistently to maximize that type of player.
John Collins had a really good year shooting the three for the Jazz 2 years ago. Deserves a lot of credit. But if John Collins were in the playoffs and the possession ended with him taking a three, I still would consider it a victory.
Yeah.
Because it's not who he is.
It will be interesting to watch, not to lose this conversation from the playoffs, but if Cam Boozer can hit the three at the high enough rate that he needs to. Because if he does, he's Julius Randle with a three-point shot and probably a better passer. Because that player's really good. That's a really dangerous all-NBA caliber player. If the three-point shot for some reason drops to 33%, it's not a top three player in the draft. If it's 38 to 42% his whole career, no question top three player in the draft, and that's what teams are going to have to weigh.
What is next?
Number 2, big news for Big Whit. Michigan lands Charles Woodson Jr.
I think anyone would have landed son of Charles Woodson at Michigan, right?
Let me tell you, was Seth Greenberg would have told him to pound sand.
Yeah, don't need you, kid.
I don't care
Alumni,
who your dad is.
legacy? What do you mean your last name's Curry?
Get outta
Hit
here.
the road, pal.
Get out of here.
What?
We don't need you.
He's pretty good, coach. I don't run that type of program. Witt's going to get a lot of recruiting wins early because he's exciting and nobody knows anything about him.
Oh, this has nothing to do with Witt, and the recruiting doesn't either. Michigan's swimming in dough and they're Michigan. That's
But-
why it's a great job.
Well, if Witt ends up doing a bad job, which he won't because he won't last long enough to do a bad job, and he's got a bunch of talent, he's got a bunch of good players already on the roster, and he brought good players with him. But I guess there's a chance he could lose some of these legacy kids if he was doing a bad job as a coach and for some reason they kept investing in him. But right now, he's still in the honeymoon period. This is the best time to be Kyle Whittingham. Everybody loves him. The recruits want to go play for him. Donors are probably excited to give him as much money as they can. And then you get a legacy kid? Yeah, land that guy.
I mean, it's easy street. Winning at Michigan is easy. The winning at Utah is hard.
Yeah, it is.
Winning at Michigan is easy. Yeah, you just don't say no to Charles Woodson Jr. No, he's going to have a ton of talent. I wonder.
Also, this kid is a 3-star recruit. This isn't exactly like the
yeah.
5-star. Wow, everybody was knocking down his door to get him.
5'11" and 160 pounds. He's quite slight.
Yeah, he's not.
No.
Yeah,
But you never
it's
know.
not Cardale Jones.
3-star is still 3-star.
Sure. I don't think his last name has anything to do with his
No,
star rating.
probably not.
His dad talking to the kids at 24/7 Sports has nothing to do with him having a star rating.
No.
So you think if his last name wasn't Woodson, would Michigan still try to get him?
No, I do not. But I bet you Arkansas would be all over him. I bet you he'd be headed to Baylor right now.
If his last name was Anderson.
Yeah, Smithson. Okay, cool. Charles Smithson.
But no, he's going to Michigan and it makes national news and makes the top 3 stories of the day.
Good job, Christian.
What's next?
Hey, number 3. Unlike the NBA, the NFL doesn't care about the Ben Andersons and their complaints.
What does that mean?
You were complaining about Wednesday games yesterday.
Oh,
This is more in lines to streaming, but yes, the NFL did say that get ready for Wednesday games because that's coming. But Ben, everybody's been complaining about streaming, including me, frankly. But even hasn't the politicians have been getting it? Didn't Mike Lee or somebody do something about there is trying to sue something
yes.
with the NFL?
Too many TV deals.
Yeah. So the NFL basically said Friday, NFL Executive Vice President of Media Distribution Hans Schroeder, said today. Quote, "We love our model. We think we have the most fan-friendly model there is of any sport or entertainment as far as distribution." He says, "We think broadcast networks have been an incredible home, and now we also know fans are increasingly spending their time on other platforms as well. They tune into broadcast for the NFL, and that's where we want to be, but we also want to be on these platforms with a limited amount of our games where we know our NFL fans are as well." And then he goes on to talk about the success at Netflix and all this stuff. This is the proper response to the whiners of the world. Shut up. We know what we're doing. We like what we're doing. Pipe down. Enjoy the game.
I can't wait to hear your opinion change on this when the Wednesday game is on Crunchyroll and you have to subscribe to some anime streamer to be able to watch the Wednesday game, which, by the way, is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And you're like, well, I got to watch the game. It's the NFL.
First of all,
Crunchyroll is costing me $40 a month.
I love it that you said Wednesday. That makes me laugh. But
I was quoting you.
Yeah, indeed. I admitted that I complain about this. This does bug me. I'm telling you, this is the proper response. You know, Adam Silver, there was a tweet today that said Adam Silver goes to NBA Twitter for information, for feedback about his ideas. You know, you make a decision, what's best for your league, and go for it.
You stick with it.
And you stick with it and ignore the criticism.
That's called leadership.
Ignore my whining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is the best thing for the NFL because they are printing money.
Yes.
And we've talked about why the NFL is so valuable on top of the obvious, the eyeballs. We go back to there were always 3 major broadcast networks in this country. From television, and when television began until the late 80s, Ben. When Big Fox emerged as a 4th major network on broadcast television. How did they do that, Ben? We've talked about it. How did that happen?
Got the NFL.
Could not happen for the 80 years or whatever it is prior.
Yeah.
They got the NFL, specifically the NFC, at a time when the Niners and Cowboys were,
must-see TV.
Must-see TV. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, Fox is born. So now Netflix is getting into live events, or Netflix wants to expand its perimeters, and streaming comes along, and Amazon wants to be in the game, and they all have to arrive. They all have to get the subscribers, the eyeballs to I guess cement themselves into the culture. Mm-hmm. So nobody has any new ideas anymore.
Correct.
What do?
Right.
You do what Rupert Murdoch did in 1990? When did it switch from NBC to Fox? Around there. Yeah. You do the exact same thing. And the NFL goes, great. Well, we're going to charge you billions of dollars. And those companies say, where do I sign?
Yeah, right. How much more can I give you?
How much more can I give you? And the NFL, their priority isn't the whiners like us. Their priority is running the most successful sports league on the planet and making as much money as they can for their owners and players. And guess what? They're doing it. So whiners like us have to shut up and deal with it.
I got AMC Plus because I got the Wednesday NFL game. Oh, I'm subscribed to Shudder now. There's all these horror movies everywhere, but also on Wednesdays, I get to watch.
I know. I hate it.
The Miami Dolphins.
I hate it. But I will
take on the Texans.
I will say this, though. The politicians complaining that they can't watch sports anymore, that is a terrible, terrible argument.
It's a lie.
It's a total lie.
Yeah. There's more access to sports now than ever before.
Because they totaled up how much it would cost to watch every NFL game. And, yeah, when you look at that total, it is outrageous. But it wasn't that long ago where you were beholden to whatever David James picked to air on CBS.
Right.
And whatever Fox picked to air on Fox. And then you had a Monday night game. And I don't know, did Sunday night? I guess that existed. When did that come around, Sunday night? But point being, you could not watch all of the...
You had 4 games maybe you had access to.
And heaven forbid you lived in a city where there was a game going on, because then they blacked that out on the TV because they were trying to sell tickets. So the argument is, I can't watch the NFL anymore, is totally false. or like it used to. There has never been a time when you've ever been able to before watch all of the games until the Sunday ticket was born in the early 2000s.
Can I tell you one thing I do like? Wednesdays, I can't imagine they're going to make you play Sunday and then Wednesday. In fact, I think it's already crazy they make you play Sunday and then Thursday on a short week. I don't think they will ask you to play a Sunday, Wednesday short week. So I suspect you will go Sunday, next Sunday off, play the Wednesday, next Sunday off, and then play the following Sunday. So you'll play 3 games over 20 days as opposed to 2 games in 6 days or 5 days like you do with the Sunday, Thursday, basically back-to-back. I think that actually could be better. However, it's a lot of football.
Yeah, not my problem.
Yeah.
That sounds like the coach and the player's problem. Yeah. Deal with it. I think they should require that turnaround.
Okay. Just play Sunday, Monday. You play Sunday night, and then you get the Monday night doubleheader.
Yeah, deal with it.
I'm playing the Sunday late game and Monday night football the same week.
Yeah.
Week 1 and week 2 are 24 hours apart.
It's like the owner in the movie Major League where she goes, I know, we're coddling these guys too much. Yeah. Can't we need a day off?
Get in the tub, freshen up, and be ready to go tomorrow.
Stay tuned. More Jake and Ben next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.